The king has gone lactose insane. Introducing the new Cheese Lover King at Burger King. A cheese-covered double bacon Whopper with a side of creamy cheese sauce to dunk in. The Cheese Lover King is here for a limited time. Only at Burger King.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 3rd day of July 2026 here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road because the life you save may just be your own. I will dispense with my usual opening comments this morning, going straight to the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs. We've been asked to send belated birthday greetings to Laurie Parsons Arch, Sue Griffiths, and Jody Kirchman. So happy belated birthday greetings, Laurie Parsons Arch, Sue Griffiths, and Jody Kirchman. Today's birthday shout-outs, Miss Ellen Peguero, celebrating her birthday today, Chris White, David White, Tamara Reed Vernon, and Shanetti Ranking as well. So let's repeat those. Miss Ellen Peguero, Mr. Chris White, Mr. David White, Miss Tamara Reed Vernon, and Miss Shanetti Ranking. On the 4th of July, Mr. Rocky Godet will be celebrating his birthday. And they said to Lord Graham, he just has to wait until September the 10th for his birthday. We also have birthday greetings to Shane McFeel, who celebrates his birthday today, the 3rd of July. Greetings are coming from his loving mother, Ruth James, sisters, nieces, nephews. May God continue to bless you always, and may you live to see many more. And we are also asked to wish Pastor Ellen Peguero. We repeated that one already, but Miss Ruth James also wants to send special birthday greetings to Miss Ellen Peguero as well. Still have some more here that I have been asked to share with you. Let's find them here. That is not a birthday shout out. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. We got lots of those this morning. Okay, so David White, we repeated already. Nerlene Rochelle, also celebrating a birthday today. Yvonne Medina, celebrating a birthday today. Tomorrow, Darla Dilbert Wood, celebrating a birthday, as well as Brigitta Nemeth, celebrating a birthday tomorrow as well. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out. Meanwhile, folks, we have a packed schedule this morning, and we have a very important topic and discussion that will take place between Minister ROLSTON Anglin and Parliamentary Secretary Miss Julia Hunter. I know in some publications she's referred to as Permanent Secretary, but she is the Parliamentary Secretary, not Permanent Secretary. So, Minister and Parliamentary Secretary, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, OC. Thank you for having us. Good to be here.
Yes.
The topic we're going to discuss is something that I'm sure next week we're going to have to be back on to get into greater depth, because today obviously we wouldn't have time for a lot of calls, etc., given the fact that of how tight the schedule is for today. But I think we get right into it, and this is an initiative that is something that P.S. Hunter and I feel very, very strongly about. The first freedom flights were in 1869, I think it was, and a lot of Caymanians don't understand just what we refer to, especially in West Bay, as Cuban Caymanians. Cuban Caymanians for us were persons who were born in Cayman, went to Cuba down in the 20s, 30s, and it was due to economic situations in Cayman. Seamen sailed the world, sent allotments home. A lot of seamen settled in various places: New York, Philadelphia, Miami, Tampa. They settled all over the world and to make a better home, better life for their families, and sent monies home. Opportunities opened up in Cuba. A lot of people only see the Cuba of today. They don't realize that Cuba was basically the pearl of the Caribbean. Cuba was the playground for the rich and famous and wealthy Americans. Cuba had lots and lots of casinos that were ran by the same mafioso that ran them in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And it was then the Revolution of '59 when Castro came to power that the U.S. government changed tack because he wanted to go on a political track and a social track that they didn't believe in. They did not believe in socialism and communism, and so they saw then Cuba as a threat. So Cuba all of a sudden went from a place that was big with friends to America, to one that they then had a real embargo around, right? They didn't just put trade restrictions in place. The American government basically said, we're not trading with you. American companies can't trade with you. And anyone who does, we're going to punish you.
Yep.
Right? The embargo that's been in place for decades is one that we now see in the late 90s and then into 2000s. But the Caymanians who were in Isle of Pine, working in factories and working in the citrus industry and sending money home, got trapped because at that point they could not leave. And it wasn't until the late 60s when the Honorable Willa Farrington advocated strongly for them, and then eventually the first freedom flight happened under another national hero, the Honorable Benson E. Banks, and on 22nd of October. And then in the 80s and 90s, the Honorable McKeever Bush also led successfully two real periods of getting more Caymanians home in the late 80s and into the 90s. And OC, you were Chief Immigration Officer, so you were in immigration, and certainly you would understand this topic way better than most. And so what happened was a lot of them were given different letters. One letter basically said you could live and remain in Cayman without work permit for the rest of your life. Others said you were given 6 months to then go and get permanent residency versus Cayman status. Those two scenarios is what still causes havoc in families today. Firstly, we have, believe it or not, OC, people who have never taken up the PR route. They simply live and have their being in Cayman on the strength of that letter. Then you have others who've now on to 3 generations. But unfortunately, how we've crafted our legislation, because a number of them didn't realize they needed to get Cayman status and ensure that when their children were born, they had status. Those children and grandchildren now don't have the type of rights that they ought to have. Any fair-minded Caymanian would feel this way. And the fact is, so we have children, little children, who can't get registered in school because their parents are not legally Caymanian yet. They have Caymanian blood, multi-generational Caymanian blood running through their veins, and grandmother, grandfather came back in the 80s and 90s, and now those descendants are disadvantaged. That's the genesis of this. So I just want P.S. Hunter now to walk through actually what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, and I think too, what we need to add to that is a lot of those same people just thought that they were fine with their letter, and they assumed that their families and their children, their descendants, would be fine as well, because we didn't make it clear, you know. So we have to note that it's not something that was intentional, but through no fault of their own, they just assume, okay, I'm fine, well, my children could be fine, you know. But the Honourable ROLSTON ANGLIN did bring, you know, motion, I would have to call it, to our caucus.
Okay.
And we got the full support of our caucus, and I'm just going to read through, you know, what was brought. So it's regularizing the immigration status of persons of Caymanian descentage born in Cuba and their offspring. So whereas the Honourable ROLSTON ANGLIN JP MP advocated for the regularizing of the Cuban Caymanians, that is, persons who are of Caymanian descent, whereas there were persons who were born in the Cayman Islands and moved to Cuba starting around 1920 and established families in Cuba in order to take up citrus farming and factory work, as there were little to no economic opportunities in Cayman Islands at that time. And whereas the Cuban government effectively allowed Caymanians to land and remain predominantly on the island off of its coast known as Isla de Pinos, which we know it today as Isle of Pines or Isle of Youth. And whereas the Cuban Revolution started in 1959 and Caymanians were then trapped and continuously advocated for their release, and whereas the Cayman Islands government negotiated the return of Caymanians, of persons of Caymanian status, of Caymanian descent from Cuba, the lobbying of the British Embassy with the Cuban government resulted in the first freedom flight arriving in the islands on the 22nd of October 1968. So that was the first time that we got those people out of Cayman. That was the first flight. I'll never forget that. It was definitely historic for me, being from Northwest Point and having a number of family members that were on that flight. Whereas the Cayman Islands government brought home another major group in 1969, and whereas the Cayman Islands government continued to lobby the British Embassy to secure the return of the Cuban Caymanians over the years, and whereas a number of those Cuban Caymanians upon returning to the islands were simply granted the right to remain indefinitely and work without the necessity of a work permit. And I might add right here that those Cuban Caymanians that came back helped to make the Cayman Islands in those years.
Precisely.
I mean, I know some of them worked 45 years at the Public Works Department and different areas in Cayman, helped to build many of the buildings. Whereas a number of the Cuban Caymans, upon returning to the islands, were simply granted the right to remain temporarily and were to regularize their immigration status in the islands after a requisite period in order to obtain permanent residency. And whereas a number of the Cuban Caymans who returned and were granted the right to remain indefinitely in the islands did not regularize their Caymanian status in the islands. And whereas a number of the Cuban Caymans who obtained any of these types of letters did not then add their descendants, which is one of the issues that we're having, to born in the islands to these letters. So those children that were born after they came were not added to these letters. And whereas a number of Cuban Caymans simply lived on the basis of the letter to indefinitely remain and did not or could not obtain a structured and fair path to Cayman status, their descendants now find themselves having to navigate the immigration system without any pathway to the letter to remain indefinitely. And whereas a number of the Cuban Caymans brought children with them who at the time did not qualify for Cayman status as of right, were simply allowed to remain as minors. And whereas a number of these minor children were transitioned to student visas upon gaining the age of majority in order to remain in the islands. And whereas in more recent times, the Cayman Islands government have allowed the Cuban Caymans to return, but were placed in the regular immigration system and had to obtain work permits, but had siblings who were here before that had been granted Caymanian status. So in other words, some were treated just going through the regular system, some were treated as the Cuban Caymans and had been granted letters. So, that's a bit unfair as well.
Yeah, that's a form almost of family separation to a certain extent.
Yes.
Right. And whereas successive governments have not changed the immigration law in order to regularize the issue of those Cuban Caymans, and whereas this systematic failure have now created a number of stateless and are greatly disadvantaged Cuban Caymans, it was resolved by the caucus of the National Coalition for the Caymanians that the Honourable ROLSTON ANGLIN JPMP was to establish a working group charged with researching and identifying individuals in the various immigration situations with a view to regularizing this matter once and for all with a bespoke pathway in law to gain Caymanian status. So that is what was approved.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, if you could speak to, there are several options that could be taken, to obtain this pathway, and the option that you're looking to take, and we want to give details in terms of the approach that will be taken and make that clarion call to persons out there who may be affected by this, what they should be doing at this point in time. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
The World Cup is here! Make every watch party a Domino's party. Whether your awesome boss is swapping out the copier for a big screen or you're feeling the energy at home, make it a Domino's party with the World Cup meal deal. 1 large pizza and 2 cans of Coca-Cola for just $19.99. Don't stress the mess. You have enough to worry about during the match. Domino's, the perfect matchday combo straight to your door. Cayman's favorite pizza and the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola. The Domino's World Cup meal deal. Just $19.99. Order now and make every match a winner.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Minister, the Honourable ROLSTON Anglin, and Parliamentary Secretary, Ms. Julie Hunter. Mr. Anglin.
Yeah, so see, when we cut off, I want to make sure that we're very, very clear. The persons that we're talking about are persons who currently are residing in the Cayman Islands. This is not net new people. And I want to also make clear two other very important things that the public wouldn't know. A lot of persons, when they were returning home, came in under the pre-2004 immigration law.
Right.
That law only gave Caymanian as of right status to persons whose parents were Caymanian. Oh, so you would have been working with me. The two of us worked on the first IRT.
Yes.
It was our IRT that made the recommendation and caused the law to change to go back to what used to be down in the 60s and 70s, I think, as I recall, where you could get status as of right through your parents and your grandparents. So here's what happened. You would have had a Caymanian who went to Isle of Pine. They would have had a child in Isle of Pine. So when they were allowed to come back home, or when they were brought back home either on the Freedom Flight or later on, this really affected more people in the 80s and 90s who came home. When those persons would have come home, a number of them would have had a grandparent that was born in Cayman, but their parent was actually born in Isle of Pine, because by then they would have been, you're talking about 59, 69, 79. So when you come home in 8 and 9, now 30 years, that's 30 plus years. Because remember, the revolution was, I'm discounting when the revolution started. They were there before the revolution.
Precisely,
right?
yeah.
So you would have had people who were 3+ decades of family being in Cuba, right? And so those persons couldn't get status as of right and could only be put on that PR path. Now, you fast forward, 09, 99, 09, 19, we're now 2026, we're another 30-something years again. Those same persons now are up to having grandchildren now, because each generation is about 10 years. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? So now they have grandchildren. Now, that's where the issue is. Those persons are in Cayman, living amongst us. A lot of them born here, but purely because of the fact that back when a lot of this happened, instead of giving the pathway directed to status, their descendants now can't make claims because at the time of their birth,
their parents didn't.
Their parent didn't possess Caymanian status.
Yes.
And nobody out there can tell me it's fair that purely because. So my ancestors, my grandfather went to Tampa in the 50s. We were free to come back home. Tampa, Florida, you're free to come back home. So I now have cousins, etc., who were born in the States, but free to come back home, parents free to come back home and move and have their being. Cuban Caymanians didn't have that option. They literally could only come out once allowed by the regime over there.
And even then, families were split as well, because you had male members of family who had to do their military service as well, and they weren't allowed to come. And there was only one letter that basically named everyone, in that family who would be allowed to come to the Cayman Islands as well.
And you would have saw that side on the immigration side, and we would have saw it in the community. And then also you might want to cover the point you made to me yesterday, where Caymanians, were allowed to go to the British Embassy and register British subjects.
Yes.
And so the Cuban government didn't recognize them as Cuban citizens, gave them a special colored, was it passport?
Yeah, a green identification card. Miss Genevieve was saying that hers was green, and I think the other color, if you were a Cuban, was, I think she said pink. Can't remember. I know her. She showed me hers the night we did the interview, and hers was green. And she said, "This is all I had." She said, "I wasn't considered a Cuban. I was just considered a British subject, and so I could travel within Cuba long as I had this green passport or card. It was like a card." And she still has it, of course.
Wow.
But then the other thing I wanted to say too, like my father was born in Cuba. His parents was one of those that went over to Cuba in the 20s and 30s. He was born in 1930 in Cuba, but he's not one of those that got trapped because they left then before the revolution. Grandma Annie and grandfather came back. You know, I think it was because I think he was 8 when he came back to Cayman. You know, so of course, you know, he wasn't in that bucket. But I just want to say, you know, my parents were even. My father was even one of those that went to Cuba, you know, for economic reasons. But like I said, they came back before all of this happened, so he didn't get in that where he was not one then that we could say, okay, he was a Cuban Cayman that was trapped.
Right.
You know.
Yep. And that's it, right? I mean, and here's what happens, OC, that we know that it's a very human behavior, right? Right now in Cayman, we know of persons who are coming here to better their families. And a lot of times they then reach back and then try to find work for their relatives. That's a natural thing to do.
Looking out for your own.
And so the opposite was true of Cayman back 100 plus years ago. We didn't have this modern Cayman. We were trying to build our country, and our Caymanians were going elsewhere, going to sea, going elsewhere, and going to places like Cuba. And so why this issue wound up being predominantly, it's not exclusively, but it's predominantly a West Bay centric issue, is because once one person went and it worked out, but then they told a neighbor, they told a cousin, they told a brother, they told a friend, and then that word just spread in the community, and people were like, oh, okay, this is another alternative to just going to sea. Let's use this opportunity.
Exactly.
And I want to repeat for anyone who may have caught us midstream. These are Caymanians who did what all of the Caymanians were doing at the time, going somewhere else and sending allotments home. But because this was working so well, no one anticipated another revolution. No one expected that by 1959 they would effectively become trapped in a communist regime that would then be arch enemies to America, because most Caymanians don't realize, and I want to repeat this, Cuba was the pearl of the Caribbean. Cuba was the playground for the rich and famous of America. Cuba was bustling with casinos, etc.
And medical facilities.
Everything.
We went as Caymanians years ago to Cuba for medical aid. My grandmother and my mother both talked about Cuba and Jamaica whenever they needed anything to medical. We couldn't do operations here. If they needed an operation, they were going to send you to Cuba or Jamaica.
That's right. And so ultimately, once they were trapped, that's why this category is so different. They got trapped under a communist regime that we then had to try and negotiate and get them home. And we're dealing with their descendants that are in Cayman who have a disadvantaged position. And the government's view is once we're going to... So
yeah, I was going to ask you now, in terms of now that caucus has approved that.
The next steps. We're going to give you the next steps. Okay, so the next step really is to the working group. Okay, so we have to go now to people that came at that time, people that know their descendants, people basically that from that era. So we've put together what we feel is a comprehensive working group to deal with now those people. So they're going to be the ones to gather these people together, find out who exactly they are, trace their lineage, and make recommendations. Yes, Julie Hunter, O.C. Connor, ROLSTON, ANGLIN, these should be on this list because they came and they were descendants of those that were actually trapped and came on those first few flights. up until the 80s and 90s, because as Minister rightly said, they now have children and grandchildren. You know, we're talking about 60 years between when it first started getting people out and then into the 80s and 90s when those others that came, like Miss Genevieve came in 1996 as a 60-year-old. She had been in Cuba since she was 3 years old. Wow. Their family left after the hurricane in 1939, where there was basically nothing left here, and she, as a 3-year-old with her 5 siblings and her mother, because her father got I think drowned or killed in a storm, and 57 years later she's come back as a 60-year-old in 1996. You know, so now her children she was able to get out, and they now have a pathway, but her great-grandchildren now are affected by that.
Right. Okay. Beyond the time, but very, very quickly.
So just a quick wrap up. We're going to have the working group, and we move beyond the original motion that I took to our caucus to now include myself, and P.S. Hunter is going to be leading the charge on this. But I want to thank prior legislators. I think it's only fair to the Honourable Willa Farrington, the Honourable Benson Ebanks, both national heroes and not with us any longer. The Honourable McKeeva Bush did a lot of work in this area, and it's only right for us to pay due respects to the work they did to at least get us to this point. At least we're here with a cadre of Caymanians who are here. We're now seeking to just regularize Cuban Caymanians with direct Caymanian lineages who are in the Cayman Islands as we speak, but are disadvantaged because of how the process evolved.
Okay, and you will hear more from Minister Anglin and Parliamentary Secretary, Ms. Julia Hunter. We're going to arrange, to continue this discussion next week to give out more information at that point in time as well. We look forward to that, folks. Top of the hour or 8 o'clock news. When we return, we will have members of the Constitutional Commission in the studio with us. Of course, Constitution Day coming up on Monday as well. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller.
Private Members Motion number 3, limiting social media for children under the age of 16, has failed.
It was a big no on a private member's motion to limit social media for children under the age of 16 in the first ever Summer Youth Parliament on Thursday.
As a 15-year-old, I experienced the realities of social media firsthand. I do not need to imagine how young people use it. I live it every day.
But has it occurred to you MPs that maybe all social media has been doing is educating our youth on their mental health?
I think about my friends, my future children and grandchildren who will live with the consequences of the motion and the decisions made today.
The motion passed in the official parliament back in March, and Chair of the Standing Committee for Youth Parliament, Kenneth Bryan, stressed the historic importance of Thursday's Youth Parliament as their debates will be considered by government if the proposed social media ban were to move forward.
Before this goes to the formal bill stage, we are placing this exact motion directly in the hands of the most significant stakeholders in the country, our youth. This is a true exercise of public consultation.
Official MPs voted overwhelmingly in support of a social media ban for under 16s when they considered the private member's motion in the House back in March. The ban, if implemented by government, will limit access to large-scale algorithm-driven, user-to-user platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, X, Facebook Threads, and similar services. You can rewatch the full Youth Parliament debate on the CIG-TV YouTube channel. An additional $1.2 million is approved for this year's Domestic and Aerodrome Fire Services budget. Home Affairs Minister, the Honourable Nicholas DaCosta.
In February of this year, the portfolio of the Civil Service did a re-evaluation of the job descriptions for the firefighters, pump engineers, and sub-officers of the Cayman Islands Fire Service. During that review, which was in the information was probably already widely speculated, is that members of the fire service have been historically paid less than other branches of the uniformed services.
He says this extra $1.2 million supports a salary uplift for 146 fire service staff, all Caymanian.
Finally, brings equity across all uniform services.
The total budget for the fire service this year is now $21.2 million. And you can get your mango fix as the National Museum hosts its annual Mango Fest on the waterfront, with things kicking off tonight.
We expanded this year. We actually have 2 days. Well, we have an evening Mango Fest launch. That's going to be at Hotel Indigo, and we're thankful for their partnership. And then we're going to have the market itself is going to be on a Saturday.
National Museum's Brian Watler Jr. tells Radio Cayman tomorrow's event starts at 5 p.m. and is totally free, so you're encouraged to bring your friends and family for an evening filled with local vendors, mango-infused desserts and cocktails, competitions, live music, traditional crafts, and activities for all ages.
We have the catboat rides in the harbor, and then we have 47 vendors this year. We have a street dedicated to just food and beverage vendors, and they're going to be selling everything with mango ingredients in it. So from mango ice cream, mango tarts, mango jerk, seasoning, you name it, everything mango. That'll be on Gorin Avenue, our food and beverage vendors. And then on Seafarers, where we have all our artisans, our arts and craft. And they do have mangoes incorporated in their products as well.
The catboat rides and mango dessert demo will run from 5 to 6, the mango cocktail demo from 6 to 7, and the mango peeling and eating competition at 7 o'clock. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with David Harper. The UN's human rights chief has warned that a catastrophe is unfolding in Sudan's North Kordofan state amid the ongoing civil war. He said civilians had spent months under siege-like conditions and had been subjected to executions, torture and rape by paramilitary forces. Iran's president has paid his respects to the country's late supreme leader in Tehran ahead of his burial next week. The coffin of Ali Khamenei is on display at the Grand Musalla Mosque, along with family members killed with him at the start of the US-Israel war. Interpol says it's searching for a Ukrainian woman suspected of planting a bomb which injured 3 people in Monaco on Monday. Prosecutors say the suspect detonated the device by remote control and didn't act alone. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
Happy 50th anniversary Radio Cayman. My name is Carl Brown. You're the spirit and the ethos of the Caymanian people. Lomax Rankin in the mornings. Cheryl Ann and Joy Brandon reading news. Dorian Miller, the first talk show host. Sportscaster Ed Bush. What a memory. Radio Cayman is more than the voice. It is the soul of the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
All right, once again, good Friday morning to you. Friday, July 3rd. Nice sunny conditions at the outside with lots of partial cloud cover. Present temperature 84 degrees Fahrenheit, but the real feel now at 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 4 miles per hour with some gusts up to 10 miles per hour. Relative humidity 84%. The barometric pressure still at 29.97 inches. Synopsis for today: an upper-level low over central Cuba is expected to drift into the northwestern Caribbean during the next 24 to 36 hours, enhancing instability and allowing cloudiness and showers from the southeastern coast of Cuba to spread across the Cayman Islands. Radar imagery shows isolated showers in and around the Cayman Islands moving west. Our forecast for today calls for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and thunder. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s with a heat index near 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Later on tonight, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of early evening and late night showers and thunder. Temperatures will fall to the low 80s. Winds will be northeast to east at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Presently in a low tide, high tide will be at 11:25 this morning. It's going to be low at 5:14 this afternoon and high just after midnight at 12:06. Sunset later on this evening at 7:06. And the outlook is for a gradual increase in cloudiness and showers from Sunday evening as another tropical wave approaches the Cayman area. That, my friends, is your 8 a.m. weather update.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
All right, good morning. Let's quickly take a look at the traffic situation. Some traffic buildup on Huldah Avenue, and of course a little bit on Bobby Thompson Way. Not too bad, but just on Huldah Avenue getting to the C&B roundabout. And of course, as usual, out there on the Butterfield roundabout, just getting to that coming from Thomas Russell Way. Heading north around that area, seeing a little bit of traffic. But once getting past the roundabout, things start to flow much better as you make your way along the Esley Tibbetts, heading up to West Bay. Of course, expect some traffic at the roundabouts at Commander Bay's, the two roundabout area. Traffic along West Bay Road, fair to find, coming and going from Georgetown into West Bay or along the stretch. Things are moving smooth. Similar on to North Church Street into Seafarers Way. Expect a little bit of traffic there. No cruise ships in, so not much pedestrian movements. And South Church Street, traffic heading northward. Not heading southward bound. I'm going through South Sound. Things are moving fine. A little bit of traffic on Walker's Road. Heading east on Smith Road, getting to the four-way stop. Expect a little light traffic in that area. Otherwise, most traffic in the Georgetown area seems to be moving smoothly through Windsor Park, through the Industrial Park area. And of course, Cayman Brack, Little Cayman, good morning to you. Light traffic in your vicinity. Have a safe commute, buckle up and stay safe. Look out for pedestrians, those on e-scooters, e-bikes, motorbikes, bicycles. And have yourself a nice long weekend. Yeah, it's a long weekend this weekend. Looking forward to it. The traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The 7:20 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union. On the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As I said earlier in the show, Monday is Constitution Day here in the Cayman Islands, and it is my pleasure to have in this studio with me this morning to discuss Constitution Day and our Constitution. The Mr. J. Lemuel Hurlston, who is the chairman of the Constitutional Commission, Justice Alex Henderson, Casey, he's a member, and Miss Annalisa Shibley, she's also a member. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lucy.
And Mr. Chairman, we'll start off with you, sir, Mr. Hurlston.
Thank you very much, O.C. Today is an opportunity not simply to commemorate an important date in our history, but to reflect on the Constitution that continues to shape our democracy, protect our rights, and provide the framework for good governance in our islands. Many people know Constitution Day as a public holiday, but some may not know why it falls in July. The holiday traces its origin to the 4th of July, 1959, when the Cayman Islands received our first constitution. Since then, our constitutional development has continued through the 1972 Constitution, and following our first national referendum in 2009, the Constitution that came into force on the 6th of November 2009, together with its Bill of Rights, which became effective in 2012. Our Constitution is much more than a legal document. It is a supreme law of the Cayman Islands. Every law passed, every decision made by government, and every public authority operates within the framework established by the Constitution. It defines how power is exercised, sets out the responsibilities of our elected representatives and public officials, protects the rights and freedoms of every person, and establishes the institutions that help to ensure accountability, transparency, and respect for the rule of law. The Constitution also reflects the values that underpin our democratic society. These include integrity, accountability, transparency, respect for democracy, and adherence to the rule of law. These are not abstract ideals. They are principles that guide how public decisions should be made and how those entrusted with public office should conduct themselves. One of the most important features of our current Constitution is its Bill of Rights, freedoms, and responsibilities. It encourages the inherent dignity of every individual and guarantees fundamental rights and freedoms to everyone in the Cayman Islands. It also ensures that public authorities are accountable for respecting those rights in the decisions that they make. The Constitution is also about our identity. Its preamble acknowledges the unique history of the Cayman Islands, our culture, our Christian heritage, and the values that have contributed to the peace, prosperity, and stability of our islands that have enjoyed over many decades.
Let me say a few words about the Constitutional Commission itself. The Commission was established under Section 118.
Justice Henderson, can you come a little closer to the mic for us? Or you can move the, it can actually bring forward. Thank you.
We were established under Section 118 of the Constitution to be an independent constitutional body. Our responsibilities are to promote, and promise understanding and awareness of the Constitution and its values, to publish educational materials and reports, and to provide advice on constitutional matters when called upon to do so. Importantly, we are an independent commission. We are not governed or directed by government or by any other authority. Our role is purely educational and advisory. We don't actually decide anything, and we don't ourselves implement anything. We seek to encourage informed public understanding of the Constitution so that all Caymanians and residents appreciate both the rights that they enjoy and the responsibilities that come with those rights. Over the past year, we have continued to fulfill our mandate in a number of ways. We have provided independent constitutional advice to government on significant issues, including matters with implications for the Cayman Islands' relationship with the UK. We have continued to monitor constitutional compliance across public administration by engaging, we hope constructively, with public authorities on issues affecting rights and good governance, including access to legal aid, for example, and electoral matters. We were also honored to accept an invitation from the Speaker of Parliament to deliver a presentation to newly elected members following the 2025 general election. We talked about constitutional values and the role of the Commission in supporting Parliament. In addition, we have continued developing educational initiatives, including plans for new resources on our constitutional history, and expanding opportunities to engage with young people in the wider community. These activities reflect the Commission's ongoing commitment to promoting constitutional awareness while providing thoughtful, independent advice on matters affecting our democratic system. While much of the Commission's work takes place quietly and behind the scenes, its purpose is always the same: to help ensure that the Constitution continues to serve the people of the Cayman Islands as a living framework for democratic government, good governance, and the protection of fundamental rights.
So this Constitution Day, we encourage everyone to take a little time to learn more about our Constitution. Understanding how our system of government works strengthens civic participation, promotes informed public discussion, and ultimately helps safeguard our democracy for future generations. The Constitutional Commission has developed a wide range of free educational resources, including guides explaining different aspects of the Constitution, historical documents tracing our constitutional development, and materials designed for students, teachers, and members of the public. We invite everyone to explore these resources and continue learning about the document that serves as the foundation of our system of government. These resources can be found on our website at www.constitutionalcommission.ky.
Okay, with that, Paul, we're going to come to you with a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Join us for Mango Fest 2026 on Saturday, July 4th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the National Museum on the Waterfront. Enjoy an evening of family-friendly fun with live music, local food, mango vendors, local crafts, free catboat rides, a mango peeling and eating competition, and the exciting mango dessert competition. Don't miss special mango dessert and mango cocktail demonstrations by the Hotel Indigo team. Free admission for everyone. Mango Fest 2026 is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, the Department of Tourism, Cayman Islands Civil Service Association Cooperative Credit Union, Hotel Indigo, Catalina, Willie's Fresh Fruits and Juices, Coriander Farms, and Cayman National. Come celebrate Cayman's love for mangoes with us, July 4th from 5 to 8 p.m.
This weekend, we're celebrating our Cayman Islands Constitution. Let's all learn all we can about it, be proud of it, and fly the CI flag proudly. And tune in to your Yesteryear Musical on Breeze Radio at 7 o'clock for our Constitutional Celebration Edition. It will be wonderful!
Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday evenings
at 7 o'clock
on Breeze Radio. Entertaining, enlightening, and inspirational. Topical with CI cultural and heritage flashbacks. And the wonderful music of yesteryear. From the Thomas Edison era to the recent past. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturdays
at 7 p.m.
on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Be listening, history is always echoing.
On your Yesteryear Musical on Saturday evenings at 7 o'clock on Breeze Radio.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about the Cayman Islands Constitution Order 2009. You've heard a history of the Constitution in the Cayman Islands as well. That conversation has taken place with the chairman of the Constitutional Commission, Mr. J. Lemuel Hurlston, also Justice Alex Henderson, KC, who's a member, and Miss Annalisa Shibley, who's also a member. Now, Justice Henderson, in your presentation, you spoke about some of the responsibilities of the Constitutional Commission to promote understanding, I would quote, promote understanding and awareness of the Constitution and its values, publish educational materials and reports, and to provide advice on constitutional matters where appropriate. Can we expand on that where appropriate? And can the Commission itself, on its own motion, make recommendations or take up issues, or does it have to be come through you from another source?
No, I think we can take up matters on our own initiative, and we have done in the recent past. For example, on our own initiative, we met with the Legal Aid Department and carried out certain inquiries into the adequacy of legal aid in the Cayman Islands. For the most part, I think our mandate is to react to things that are brought to us or referred to us by government, but that does not preclude us from looking at things that we feel are important.
Okay. Any other member wants to add to that?
No, I think that's a good example. And we've only been in office for just over 12 months. We began our work at the beginning of 2025, so that we're relatively new in the business.
Okay, let me say to our listening and viewing audience as well, if you have any questions or comments in relation to the work of the Constitutional Commission and our Constitution, please feel free to call in, but we want you to restrict it to the Constitution and constitutional issues. If you're calling from a flow number, We have a toll-free number. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call on 949-8037, 949-6990. We also have a WhatsApp number, 925-3261, where you can send us a WhatsApp message as well. As a matter of fact, one of our listeners has sent in a question. It says, great to hear the Constitutional Commission on today. Can the panel say if and when a definition of native/indigenous will be enshrined in our Constitution? It says, after all, the same criteria would be the stated qualifications for election candidates and electors.
I don't know how to answer that because the definition of qualifications is already set out in statutes, and we would simply expect everyone to recognize the significance of those statutes and to act accordingly. Changes can be made to that, but it would have to be done by the relevant statute.
And one of the things that I have pointed out in my discussions about the Constitution as well, when you look at other jurisdictions, especially independent countries, they have the whole issue of nationality and citizenship enshrined in their Constitution itself. Our framers, at the time, and the UK also agreed with it, that if you were to want to change the definition, it is much more difficult to go through a constitutional amendment because that would involve the UK and getting permission from the UK, as opposed to having it in
domestic
legislation, whereas the governor still has to assent to it, but the whole process
is much easier
as well. So
yeah,
that
sure.
has been the explanation based on what I know as far as the discussions are concerned.
Yeah, I think that's right. The UK has always kept itself as the authority on nationality matters. And they've allowed us to have responsibility for domestic legislation, so we can amend our domestic legislation to suit the requirements of the day and leave the nationality matters for the UK to decide for us.
Another issue that we constantly hear being raised, and there have been promises by politicians on all sides in relation to the advisory district councils and what the Constitution allowed for that. Again, the whole history of advisory district councils, when the negotiations were taking place, they felt that it was something that should be taken up. Unfortunately, the time didn't allow for it to be discussed in more detail and for more detail to be placed in our Constitution, which meant that a section was put in the Constitution saying that a law should be created, to establish advisory district councils. Mm-hmm. Attempts were made in that regard. Legislation was drafted and everything, but never put into effect. And we constantly hear people calling for the establishment of advisory district councils. We constantly get promises from politicians saying that it's going to be done, but it's never done as well. As a commission, bearing in mind your limitations, any recommendations, what in terms of how can we move this forward?
Okay, well, let's start with the fact that legislation was in fact passed. However, it was never brought into force. So we have legislation that governs the establishment of district councils. The matter came up in Parliament just recently, and it was decided that a select committee of Parliament would be convened to provide an opportunity for a bit more study of the issue. And Parliament was asked if they were so inclined to include a member of the Commission as part of the select committee that would be focusing on that particular topic. And so we will await the convening of that parliamentary select committee, and we will take it from there. But it has been several years, I believe 16 years or more, since the provision was made in the Constitution, and 15 years since the legislation was passed. So it does appear as if it's one of those subjects that does not have urgency in terms of the political will to implement it. And part of the problem is that we've never ever really worked out the details of the duties and responsibilities that would devolve to the district advisory councils and how it would be funded, how the offices would be set up and run and funded, etc. So there's a lot of administrative detail that has not been contemplated in the Constitution or in the legislation that was passed several years ago.
Okay, any other member wants to pass?
Just to echo, if I can, what the chairman is saying, Ocean, to answer your question in terms of recommendation, what this kind of select committee needs to do now is get to grips with the logistics of what these advisory district councils are going to look like, so that those practicalities can then be, fleshed out and implemented.
Yep. Okay. Justice Henson, anything you want to add to that?
I have nothing to add to that. I think that's all quite correct.
Okay. Now, Ms. Shibley, I'm going to age you a bit and say you're the youngest member of the commission.
That's probably fair.
And we know that previous commissions have place some focus on our young people, getting our young people involved in constitutional issues, know your constitutions. Are you a strong advocate for that? And, what's your vision in relation to that, getting all of our younger folks to be involved in our constitution?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm here. When I was approached about being a part of this commission, my main incentive was learning more, forcing myself to come to grips with, this document that governs how society works. And I think it's incumbent on all of us. We are forming the Cayman of the future, and we need to get to grips with how our society works, from electoral issues, governance issues, judicial issues. We need to take the time to make sure that we understand how our country is governed, because we all get kind of emotionally involved when election time comes, but how many of us really understand what goes behind how the process really runs? So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for that, and I think that using the resources that I mentioned earlier on our website and just listening in to things like this. We've also, been speaking about having town halls and bringing the public in. Get involved in that, show an interest, I think.
And in the meantime, if someone wanted to reach out to we'll leave that for later, because we're going to put a mic, put her behind a mic as well. This one is for you, Justice Henderson. One listener wants to know whether or not we in the Cayman Islands should have a constitutional court, bearing in mind a lot of the constitutional issues that are being raised in legal cases now. We know, I think it's the Grand Court that is the arbiter for as far as the constitutional court in the Cayman Islands, or are we too small for that?
Well, I think we're too small for that. I mean, courts cost money, and at the present time, the Grand Court is, I think, entirely capable of resolving constitutional issues. There are no concerns with that I have noticed. Nothing has been brought to my attention to suggest we need a different court. it would not be something I would support.
Okay.
Yeah, agree.
Okay. I'm going to ask everyone to put on their headphones. We do have a caller. We're going to go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Do you have a question or comment for our panel?
Hi, good morning, Mr. Connor, and good morning, panel.
Good morning.
It's been a really great discussion. This is my very favorite area of the law, Constitution and human rights. And one thing I just wanted to add, I had a few things to say, but one thing I wanted to add right now is that I'd love to see more of your pamphlets distributed around the islands for people to be able to take advantage of. I know they're often placed at the libraries, but most of the time I'm there, they've run out of stock. And I think the Parliament, the MPs should have a stock in their constitutional offices also, and maybe some of the other government buildings, so the public can easily see them. They're beautiful pamphlets. They're very easy on the eyes, fun to look at, easy to read, and I just think it'd be a great way to educate the public more and do more social media exposure in letting the public know. I know you guys, I think you guys have a page on Facebook, but more social media exposure too would be great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We're going to have our panel respond to that. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to give Miss Melanie a position behind a mic as well, and she can talk about the work of the Secretariat itself and what is done there. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about Constitution Day here in the Cayman Islands, which will be on Monday, celebrating Constitution Day. I think it's always the first Monday in the month of July, as well. That's a convenient way to do it rather than having it fall on a Saturday or on a Sunday, and then you get the extended holidays and things of that nature. So in the studio with me, we have the chairperson of the Constitutional Commission, J. Lemuel ROLSTON. We have member Justice Alex Henderson, KC, member Miss Annalisa Shibley, and now you're able to see Miss Melanie McPhail, who is the secretary to the Constitutional Commission.
The manager of the Commission Secretariat.
Okay, manager of the Commission's Secretariat. My apologies,
No
for that. So the comment made by our previous caller. I want to give you an opportunity to address that.
So if I might add to that, Mr. Connor, the Constitutional Commission's website, which is constitutionalcommission.ky, has a healthy source of information for anyone that wants any information on the Constitution. We at the Secretariat can also be contacted. You can contact myself at melanie.mcfield@gov.ky for any other materials. We're also working with a temporary intern who's going to be working on educational matters specific to the Constitution, including a resource wall that we're hoping to have implemented or installed, I should say, in the Constitutional Hall. And that's a project we're working on with the Speaker of the House, Mr. Ezra Miller.
Great. And your physical location?
We are physically located at 90 Fort Street in the Georgetown Financial Center. If I can give a main point, it's the intersection of Mary Street and Fort Street, across from, I think it's called Apollo House.
Yes.
And next to work.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it. And we're on the 4th floor.
Any other member who
No,
wants to talk about
that covers it, really.
Okay. Yeah, the website itself is full of lots of material, letters that the commission may have written or responded to, recommendations made to government. What is also one of the things that's also featured, and I'm not sure how many people realize it, but all of the constitutional negotiations that took place, 2 in the Cayman Islands, 1 in London, they were all recorded. And you have those, within the commission. So not only do we have written, but we also have verbal transcripts of the proceedings of our Constitution. So, when those legislators say, I didn't say this or I didn't support that, the evidence is always there.
I believe the National Archive also has quite a compact list of resources that you can go to where the Constitution is concerned. But again, we're happy to assist with that. We have an excellent administrative team, including our policy analyst, Ms. Lise Hurlston. And I know she would be blushing right now to hear me call her name. And also Ms. Yvette Burnell, who are excellent at their jobs, and they provide a lot of policy and governance support to the various commissions.
Okay. So, Mr. Hurlston, you mentioned the fact that it's been just over a year, or
yes, we started this particular commission. Membership started just over a year ago in January 2025. So we would have come on board just before the 2025 general election.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with politics, of course, but it's just coincidental that our appointments coincided with a term that is closely linked to the political cycle. But we're not in our own right. We're not political.
And you did point out in your opening comments as well, what your role is based on the Constitution. As a commission, and this is put out to each of you, are there things that you, during your tenure, that you would want to accomplish, bearing in mind that a lot you rely on people coming to you as well? But I would imagine that at the same time, there are certain things that you as a commission would want to see during your tenure. Can you talk about those?
Certainly. Well, from our perspective, one of the things that we would like to see accomplished during our term of office is the improvement in the communications between the commission and the government. At the moment, we submit reports and papers to the governor, and those reports are copied to the Premier and to the Leader of the Opposition for the sake of complete governance. And in our very first meeting with the Honourable Premier, we made the point that we would like very much to see an improvement in the communication between the work of the Commission and the government body, the cabinet governing body. And so we're accumulating our quarterly reports, and at the end of the year we're going to compile an annual report. We're going to try and arrange for that annual report to be tabled in Parliament, like the work of other statutory entities. And through that, we hope to improve the communications between the Commission and the government, and also by having an annual report tabled in Parliament, we hope that then the public will be widely informed as to the work that's going on behind the scenes.
Okay. Justice Anderson, you?
Yes. My own perspective on the Constitution is that it's a well-written, carefully crafted document, but the issue in many cases becomes the degree to which it's actually being enforced on a day-to-day lived basis. I have a particular interest in inquiring into the degree to which some of the human rights set out in the Bill of Rights are being enforced or not enforced, which in turn tends to depend upon funding quite often. There are gaps, and suffice it to say that there is more to be done in the area of enforcement. For example, it's not clear to me that at Northward the separation of remand prisoners from those serving sentences and the separation of mentally disordered prisoners from those who are not is adequate to meet the intent of the Bill of Rights.
Okay, Ms. Shipley?
Yeah.
This one might be a bit unpopular, but I think for me, I would like to see us get the advisory district councils over the line. I think we're really close. We have the select committee, being formed, and I think if we can just, with intention, put together a plan, address the practicalities and the logistics, we can get there.
Okay, great. Ms. McPhail, anything you want to add to that as well?
Well, as far as the Constitution is concerned, I will leave that to the experts,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to say a few words about the Commission Secretariat,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
even though we have the 6 independent commissions, a lot of people don't realize there is a body that works behind the scenes to make it happen for all 6 of these commissions. So the Secretariat is a central government entity within the portfolio of the civil service that provides independent administrative, operational, and strategic support to, as I mentioned earlier, 6 commissions, including our featured commission today, the Constitutional Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Civil Service Appeals Commission, the Human Rights Commission, the Judicial and Legal Services Commission, and the Commission for Standards in Public Life, which we're hoping will be featured at the end of this month as well.
Okay.
And yes, it's ROI season. Just plug in that. Get your register of interest filed. So the Secretariat provides everything from governance advice and policy support to meeting administration, recruitment, communications, public education, procurement, and financial administration. We also help coordinate stakeholder engagements, manage the commission websites. We support legislative reviews, and we ensure commissioners can focus on their decision-making responsibilities while we manage all of the operational behind the scenes. So that's a brief synopsis of what the Secretariat does.
And that's quite a bit as well.
Quite a bit.
And your staffing levels are?
So we have a staff complement of about 12 people at the moment.
Mhm,
We're hoping to expand that. We have the anti-corruption unit is within the Secretariat, and that is 8. We have a senior investigator, 2 level 1 investigators, and 4 level 2 investigators, and an analyst. And then we have on the administrative side, we have myself, we have the policy analysts and administrative analysts, the office administration support, and we also have a deputy manager role, and a public relations and education role. And if I may correct myself, earlier I mentioned we're going to have a temporary intern coming in. It's actually a temporary public relations and education officer to assist with the Constitution projects that we're working on and other educational projects.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a small team, but a very powerful team.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes.
We have about less than 3 minutes to go. I want to give each of you an opportunity for some closing comments. We will start with you, Miss Mel, since you just had the mic last, you continue. Yes. Then we'll have Miss Shibley. Then we will have Justice Henderson, and the chair, of course, will have the final word, the last say.
Absolutely. Ultimately, as the Secretariat, our role is to help these independent commissions serve the people of the Cayman Islands effectively, whether it's promoting constitutional awareness, as we're here doing today, protecting human rights, strengthening ethical standards, combating corruption, or supporting an independent judiciary. Each commission contributes to strong democratic governance, and we're very proud to support the work behind the scenes. I will pass it on to
That's to me. I think just to pick up on one of the points that OC raised earlier, I just want to really encourage people of a younger generation to take an interest in what's going on in the country, take an interest in the Constitution, take an interest in how the country's run, because it's our future.
And before you say your final words or closing comments, Justice Anderson, one of our listeners responded to your comments in relation to prisoners and says, good point. Also, are young prisoners separated or mixed in the general population? And they laud you for mentioning that as well, sir. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I've been on this island for 26 years, and during that time we've come a great distance in the constitutional sense. We now have a modern, workable constitution with a well-written and complete Bill of Rights, but there's no ground for complacency. The Constitution works as well as we are willing to enforce it, and that in turn depends upon a certain amount of funding, a certain amount of effort must be spent on behalf of a number of people. And I think we have to remind ourselves regularly and continuously that the Constitution is only as good as we are able to make it function.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And could you expand and explain the concept that the Constitution is a living document and we should treat it as such?
Well, a constitutional instrument in a Western democracy is normally given a large and liberal interpretation by the courts. And what that means essentially is that the text on the page can alter its meaning and be given new meanings to meet new social conditions as time passes. This means that it is not necessarily the answer to any given question that there needs to be a constitutional amendment, but rather that a new, modern, liberal interpretation may well be appropriate for the words in the document. And through that process, the Constitution evolves. It evolves with social conditions. And that's what I mean when I say a large and liberal construction of the document.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I just wanted to say that in summary, the 2009 Constitution consists of a preamble and 9 individual parts. And those parts are broken down into different subject areas. So that, for example, there's the Bill of Rights right at the beginning. Then there's the information about the governor, information about the executive, information about the legislature and parliament, information about the judiciary, the public service, finance. So it's really an all-encompassing operational manual. In some quarters, it would be referred to as a corporate governance kind of document. Mm-hmm. It gives us the shape and breadth of the responsibilities that are delegated to various areas of administration. We just like to wish everyone a happy Constitution Day on Monday. It is an opportunity for people to reflect on the Caymanian values that make up the society that the Constitution governs. And those values are becoming increasingly important as Caymanians mature, both politically as well as administratively. It's an opportunity for us to celebrate as family. We have a strong tradition of family orientation. The Constitution reflects that, reflects the fact that we're a Christian community. And so this weekend we have an opportunity of reflecting on those values and making a good example of them in our daily lives.
Okay.
But thank you for the opportunity of being here and for allowing us to share with the public some of our ideas and talk a little bit about the work that we do.
Thank you for being here as well, and I want to thank all of you as members of the Commission, for the work that you do as well. And I'm sure that if we see an actual effective advisory district council legislation in place, you will be lauded for that as well. We also want to thank the Secretariat and the staff of the Secretariat for the sterling work that they do as well. Our Constitution is so important, so important, and we should celebrate it because there are countries where we've had constitutions suspended, and as a result of that, civil liberties and everything else, gone along the way as well. So we have a lot to celebrate here in the Cayman Islands, and we should do so. Folks, thank you again. Look forward to more of these conversations with you as things continue to develop within the Secretariat as well, with the Commission as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back after our headline news at 9 o'clock. I've gone over about 5 minutes, but I can be forgiven for that. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
One radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Man's Newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Cayman Airways adds extra flights between Grand Cayman and La Ceiba, Honduras in response to increased travel demand. The extra flights will run on July 17th to 24th, as well as August 7th. For more information, head to CaymanAirways.com. In international news, France has said it recorded an increase of more than 2,000 deaths during the last week of a record-breaking European heat wave in June, as forecasters warn of further extreme temperatures on the continent in the next few days. Deaths rose 29% in the last week of June compared to the week before, with the French health minister adding that there had been a, quote, clear increase in deaths among those over the age of 45. France saw its hottest day ever on average countrywide on June 24th. News of the death toll comes as part of Europe, including the UK, are bracing for more searing temperatures this weekend. And a Ukrainian woman has been identified as the main suspect for a parcel bombing in Monaco that seriously wounded a sanctioned Ukrainian multimillionaire and 2 others. Monaco's deputy public prosecutors told reporters the 39-year-old is suspected of having been disguised as a man and may not have acted alone. Interpol has issued a red notice for her, and she's wanted for attempted murder, placing an explosive device on a public road with criminal intent and criminal conspiracy. On a Monday, an individual left a package in an entrance hall of a small apartment building, followed by an explosion shortly afterwards. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to be talking about Move It Cayman, but I did promise that the birthday shout-outs that I would try to include them as much as possible. So we've been asked to send out belated birthday greetings to Sasha Ebanks, whose birthday was yesterday, the 2nd of July. We love you and wish you many, many more birthdays from your loving family, husband Reese, son Cameron, and daughter Jessie. Also, your mother-in-law Sharon and father-in-law Kenneth. So Miss Sasha, also a cyclist. So we should say happy belated birthday from your cycling buddies as well. With that, we're going to be talking about Move It Cayman. In the studio with us this morning, Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes. We have the Chief Nursing Officer, and we have Mr. Dalton Watler, Mr. Dalton Watler in the studio with us. I'm going to throw the mic right over to Minister Ebanks Wilkes, and I'm going to relax behind my mic.
Well, good morning, OC. Thank you for having us on this morning. With Chief Nursing Officer and Mr. Dalton to just come back to the public now to talk a bit about what the movement Cayman Challenge has been like. And we are in wind down for the challenge, and we want to share a bit about what activities we have taking place tomorrow. What I would like to do is, again, just highlight how much work has gone into preparing and coordinating the Move It Cayman Challenge. And I want to thank CNO Felicia and her team from the ministry who have put a whole lot of work, as well as our communications team who has, been sharing a lot of information with the public on how they can, focus on movement. So I definitely want to give her an opportunity to talk about what they have been focusing on, and then again, what we're going to be doing tomorrow.
Certainly, Ms. Felicia.
Thanks for that. Yeah, we couldn't do it, though, without a supportive minister. So shout out right back to you on your support of this initiative. Coming into office, Minister Catherine was keen on ensuring that we didn't just collect data for collecting data's sake. And we'd had the Step into Wellness motion, which is coming out of the STEP survey, where we wanted to focus on movement, then nutrition, then mindfulness, and then knowledge. And movement was the first pillar in the Step into Wellness initiative to really take action, noting that our population was still struggling with 70% of the population being overweight or obese, knowing that only 2.8% of our population have no risk factors for non-communicable diseases. There were definitely things we could do, and movement was an easy one that we could challenge and take on that wasn't going to cost our population a whole lot of money. It was trying to change and build habit into thinking about being active, and just incorporating that into daily lifestyles. And so it's been a huge 3 months of people partnering with us from the private sectors, offering reduced gym memberships, maybe offering exercise classes, offering assessments. So we're a big shout out to all of those as well, and we'll do a proper write-up later. The challenge does come to an end this week. Tomorrow, Saturday, is our finale, and Youth in Sports, who came on board with us as well to make this a national challenge, have done an amazing job of putting together activities such as boxing, taekwondo exposition, Zumba classes, a 1 mile walk run. The list goes on. We're going to be there from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning until 3 o'clock. Just family free, fun day full of activities. We're encouraging the public to come out, participate. There are prizes for participating in different initiatives. And it's just going to be a fun, full day of activities that would not be possible without our partnership with Youth in Sports. So I will let Dalton speak a bit as well about what his team has been doing to make this happen.
Dr. Watler.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to extend my appreciation to Chief Officer Echenique, Ms. West, Mr. Rankin, and the Department of Sports for coming on board and support this great event. This event was an idea that came after we have several meetings, and then we discussed the issue and how we can enhance the movement. And then we say, well, we can have a one day full of activities, and that day will be basically a celebration for activities. And the fact that the government going to now, I think that we're going to have a new holiday in October. So that would be a great opportunity for us to establish that wellness day as the sports day or physical activities day, the entire day doing a movement. And I believe that if we get together, we can start it, and then we can put in place a different type of leisure in our culture, because what we are lacking is the type of activity that we do during leisure time. So having said that, sports department, as you know, most of our coaches are very active. So this is nothing new for us. We are always there in the hot sun, coaching, teaching. And we have several activities, as my colleague said. We're going to have the 1 mile running and walk. And people have to come, bring your dog, bring your baby, bring your husband, bring your grandmother, bring everybody. And then we're going to have a Zumba, then we're going to have karate, taekwondo, basketball, netball, football, so all kind of activities for the children, the youth, the younger, the mature, and the elderly. So that's what we have in mind to do.
Yeah, and on that, I want to highlight the elderly. So Youth in Sports already work with our elder population, and they have activities that they're used to doing. So there's a senior zone or that they put together where there are going to be several activities just geared for those people who may be more mobility challenged and also older in age that they can get involved to. So it really is meant to be a full family event. We also will have Bouncy Castle for the kids, because jumping up and down is movement. So for all ages, there's something that they can do between that 6 a.m. and that 3 p.m. Finale, and we encourage people to come out and just move with us, have fun with us.
For the benefit, again, of our listening and viewing audience, the venue and the times?
So it will be at John Gray School. We've taken over their campus. We'll be in the atrium. We'll be on their field. We'll be in the gym. The 1 mile walk run circles the schools, all of the schools, prep school, Catholic school, John Gray. So you're doing that big loop. And it'll start at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, the walk run starts at 6:30. So 6:30 tomorrow morning until 3 o'clock. The finale at 2 o'clock is a live soca aerobics. So for people who just like to do that, they can come on out there. And we've got, I forget the guy's name, but it's one of the guys that everyone loves to do his soca aerobics class. So it should be amazing. And that'll be our nice big group finale. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Carl Roy Harris, he's leading our soca aerobics at 2:00 tomorrow afternoon. But like I said, there's something for everyone. So if you like to walk, run, you want to bring the strollers, he said 6:30 is your thing. Come out. It's a nice leisure 1 mile walk, but it's still movement. And if not, we've got stretch classes after that. We've got basketball and netball starting at the 9:15 time. We have an official ceremony opening at 9:00. And then the seniors area is chair yoga, football shootout. Believe it or not, the seniors will be having a little football shootout.
Okay.
And they'll have a Giant Connect 4. There's like a game that they do with the seniors. And then we have some sports exhibits during that lunchtime time so people can grab some food from the food truck. We'll have ala kebab there. And then they can get some food and watch the exposition at the same time. And then we'll have our finales with the basketball and netball finale and then the soca aerobics.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. So when we return, we want to talk more about the event itself. Some question in relation to whether or not persons have to register or they just come along, so we can answer those questions as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us and they're only here for half an hour because they're promoting an event taking place tomorrow in the studio. Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, Minister, Chief Nursing Officer, Ms. Felicia McLean, and Dr. Dalton Watler as well. So person wanted to know whether or not registration is necessary for the event. And in this one, it's related sort of, and this may be advice that could be given to some of the participants tomorrow. Person says, great wellness talk question regarding health. Shouldn't our public school students be wearing hats in school PE for obvious reasons? And any advice that you would give to the participants tomorrow in terms of the appropriate dress depending on what event they may be participating in?
Yeah, great question. I'll start with the hard one first. Should our children be wearing hats? We do know in our private school they do encourage the kids to all wear hats. So the answer is yes. Trying to get our kids to actually follow the rules is another thing, and I will leave that to the education folks, but I think that is something that they do encourage people to do. They encourage our kids to bring water as well. They do utilize the gyms in some of the schools when they can, but there are times when they're on the field, so they also require, suggest that they put on their sunscreen. So all of the suggestions are there. Maybe we could do more to assist them in enforcing it, but the suggestions are there, and it's the same thing we would do when we take our kids to the beach, or if we took our kids for a walk run, we'd want to do that. So it's just encouraging and educating our public to value the importance of wearing protective gear when out in the sun for a long time. And going on that, yes, some of our activities tomorrow will be outside. And so we are encouraging people to bring a hat, to put on their sunscreen, bring their water bottles, because we are also the Ministry of Sustainability. And so we are trying to minimize that. We will probably have some water bottles for people who forget theirs, because it's more important to drink and stay hydrated. And so, but if they have water bottles, bring that. They can bring their towels. It's a fun activity exercise day, and we are in the summer. So yes, sunscreen, hat, all of those things are recommended. In regards to pre-registration, if anyone goes to gov.ky/MoveItCayman, and there's a link there, they can register. It's just a waiver to say that they are agreeing to participate in the event. However, if they don't do it ahead of time, they can do it on the day. Anytime during the day, we'll have several registration tables about the event where they can sign up. And when they do sign up, and that's done, they'll get a wristband, which means that they're cleared to participate in the activities. And then the fun part of that is you'll also get a little passport where you can go to the different events. So if you went to watch the boxing or participated, you get a stamp. If you happen to go do the Zumba, you'll get a stamp. And based on the number of stamps that you get different levels of prizes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we want people to come out, celebrate with us. We've got lots of giveaways to give away as people get active, and just have fun. It's the beginning of the summer. It's a great way to kick off your summer vacation with your family and the activities. And so we're encouraging all to attend.
Okay, Dr. Watler, anything you want to add to that, sir?
No, it's just that I am very pleased for the initiative. It was a long time overdue. And I believe, as I say, we need to establish a national day for sports and physical activities. We need to change our leisure culture. And it's take a one step at a time. And today we're doing this. And tomorrow we will be doing something else. And this is going to be a trend from now on. It's not just one day. Perhaps the Ministry of Education, Health, and Sports, every month we decide to have a challenge day every week. Perhaps we can close a road and have a road available for the children to ride bicycle, to do scooters, to do whatever they want to do. It's just a matter of time for our people to get there and to have a healthy society, and physical activity help a lot for that.
One of our listeners said, has written and said that as an island surrounded by water, should we have more water-related activities for our population?
Yes, I mean, sorry if I intervene.
Sports.
Sorry if I intervene in that, because that is a topic that when I say I, doesn't mean Dalton, is as a community. We started our first organized sports was in 1932, 1934 with the Cayman Regatta. And then swimming competition used to be done as well in West Bay. So we have a history of activities associated with water. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I told them when I first came to Cayman, my uncle Dalton took me from Gombe to East End in a catboat. And I don't used to that. I grew up in Colombia. So when I finish, I say, Uncle, you go back. I go and running. so that tells you a lot. So the water activity in the Cayman Island, yes, is part of our culture. It's part of our heritage. As a matter of fact, the first time the Cayman Island went to the Olympic was
sailing.
In sailing. It wasn't Mr. Carson and Jerry O'Connell and John Bodden and Jerry Miller. It was way before that when Mr. O'Connell, that was born in Cayman Island, but he represented Jamaica at that time. So that tells you that our relationship with the ocean has always been there.
And just to add to that, and to what the caller raised a good question, but I think that it's a good opportunity to highlight what the Ministry of Sports has been doing by going into the schools with the swimming initiative to make sure that all of our children know how to swim. The caller's question is a good question. I think during the summer is a good time. Most people who have young children can appreciate that when you take them to the beach and put them in the ocean and let them swim for an hour, chances are they're going to come back home and be much more relaxed, possibly take a nap. So I think that that's something that we could probably do a little bit more to encourage parents, when you have a day off or on the weekends, take the children out to the beach for a little, try to ensure that your child knows how to swim. Because I always say, you can't live in Cayman and children don't know how to swim.
Yeah, and I think that going back to the ministry's thing, we did want to include something at the pool in that kind of area when we were planning it out. However, the Ministry of Sports are working to build a bigger pool there. So I think that when that's done, they will see more educated classes in regards to teaching kids on how to swim and being able to do even more. So we do embrace the idea of it being an island surrounded by water. And so with that, we want to make sure our kids are safe to be able to then do more activities within the ocean safely.
Okay. We know that you folks have to leave us at 9:30. Want to give each of you an opportunity for some closing comments as well. Dr. Dalton, starting with you.
Kudos to our politicians and our colleagues, the government, and our Cayman Islands. And this is the beginning for a great things in sports, physical activity, health, and fitness. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. Like you said, we couldn't do it without the support of our government. Yes, just want to really encourage people to come on out. It's an opportunity to have some family time. It's an opportunity to get moving. It's an opportunity to win some prizes. So it's promising to be a great day. Starting tomorrow, John Gray High School from 6:30 is the walk run, all the way till 3 o'clock. We promise to get you out in time to still do your afternoon Saturday weekend tours, but it's a long weekend.
Long weekend, exactly, yes.
It's perfect. So hoping everyone will come out and support, because it is really important for us to start to get active and make it a habit within, like he said, our leisure time in our day-to-day lives, so that we're a healthier population for the future of the Cayman Islands.
Yeah. Move it or lose it.
Or move it and lose it. So I just want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to come on this morning and just share with the public what the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Ministry of Sports and what was the other ministry that partnered with us?
It was also Ministry of Education, Ministry of District Admin, the Premier's Office, Cabinet Office, DG's Office.
Right.
Wow.
So we want to take a moment to just thank all of the ministers and Deputy Governor for partnering with us, because that's what made this challenge successful. And as Dr. Dalton said, this is long overdue. I know many people in West Bay have been so happy. There's a West Bay Wellness Committee, which is headed up by a number of retired coaches, and they have taken time to go through the STEPS survey and really, really are excited that the government is taking this initiative. And what I will say, we're out of time, but we will be back very soon, because this is just the beginning of the implementation plan. Next up, CNO Felicia and her team will be working on a national campaign on nutrition awareness, on how to read food labels, how to know a bit about your calorie intake. And so I don't know about all this stuff in that regard. I'm looking forward to learning more. Yeah. But just want to shout out everybody who has participated and encourage everyone to continue moving, and especially my colleagues, the ministers, Parliamentary Secretary Panton. All the public has to do is just have a look at our elected officials, and they will see that many of them have been participating in the movement challenge, because many of us have lost some weight. So we're going to continue to lead by example. And with that, I just want to say thank you again for the time.
Okay, if I may, one comment that one of our listeners they said, hi, it's hard to encourage community activity for any ages in West Bay where there is no restroom block or water fountain at the school walking track. Any comments on that?
What I will say to the caller is that all of the elected officials have been looking at the recreational, the absence of a recreational facility in West Bay, and hopefully in short order, we will be making some announcements. It is something that we're working on. We don't have a solution as yet, but I can say to the caller that in short order, we should have some good news to announce for the district. And then just to follow back to the previous caller that was asking about the hats for children outside, just to say that the Ministry of Health, the Chief Medical Officer, along with CNO, will be issuing some additional information to the public for the summer, because as we know, there is an imminent heat wave. And so we will be raising a bit more awareness on what parents, what camp facilitators, what person should be doing in terms, even construction workers. We all need to be aware of how to move around in the hot sun to prevent any health issues from occurring.
Which I'm going to take this opportunity to mention this as well. On a previous show, I mentioned the fact that here in Cayman, we a much larger population, much more activities taking place. Have we reached the point, Dr. Dalton, where we should have an enclosed arena, enclosed facility that can be for multi-purpose use? Because based on the reports that we're hearing, it's not going to get any cooler. It's going to get hotter as well. Have we reached that point?
We are trying. We have an indoor at the high school now. Many high schools have an indoor facility. What is happening is that there is so many activities that needs to be done indoor. So music, drama, acting, sports, physical education. So every school, what they're doing is giving a little piece to each one of them. Do we need a national indoor facility? Of course. And again, this type of event is long overdue. So it's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. So it's a little
big steps, though. Big steps, not small.
No. But what I say, it's a step today for us, but it's a big jump for our development. So remember, we started as a nation or as a country 60 years ago. And 60 years ago, look at now, we got a world champion, we got Pan Am champion, we got CSC champion. So when you analyze those type of achievement, you have to wondering what would happen if. What would happen if we would have all those resources that is needed. Perhaps you, OT, you would be a great cycler. Who knows? Because if we would have it, let me tell you, it would be a huge difference.
I say that all the time. When the athletes that we had, like the Rennie Barnes, the Denzel Barnes, the Goodman Powers, the Roy McField, Roy Miles, known as Skipper, the John Swansons, in West Bay. If we, in our days, had the proper training and the proper facilities, Cayman Islands would have produced world champions a long time ago.
Definitely. In 1999, I did a survey, basically to analyze the percentile of the talented athletes in the Cayman Islands. And what I found is very interesting. West Bayers is a strong community, and that reflects in football, how they play football, different to Georgetown and to Istenas. People from Istanbul and town, they're very strong, big hand, robust. People from Georgetown, they're very fast, speed. So just by identifying those areas, and if we put the financial support there, we would have, I will tell you this, we will not be worrying about dispenalizing or discriminalizing marijuana now because nobody going to smoke it.
Can I just say one last thing?
Sure. I'm keeping you longer than you're supposed to.
I think it's a golden opportunity, right? As I was listening to Dr. Dalton, I was just thinking, even in sports, it's a perfect opportunity to recognize and remember how resilient Caymanians are. I think all we have to do is look at young Jackson Cover, who, didn't have a ice rink to do his hockey, right? So it just shows, to your point, if we have the resources available, the world would be our oyster. But in the absence of that, what I would like every Caymanian listening today to hear is that we are resilient people, and when we don't have, we innovate. And I think that's what we need to do in the absence of having an indoor facility, is try to acknowledge, what are best times to go outside. It's probably better to go earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon. And then I think as leaders, we just need to continue to be innovative, to look at areas where we see that we can capitalize on. Minister Rankin is doing that with sports in terms of swimming, and I know former Minister Bernie Bush, he also had the vision to make sure that we have the swimming pool. So I think that the future is very bright for Cayman, and that's how I want to end today. I want every Cayman you're listening to say, great things are happening for us as a country. We have a lot more opportunities and a lot of people around the world, and we just have to keep pushing forward.
Yeah. And one person suggested that partner with Lions Club and enclose Lions Center.
But on that, before you close, I want to say that we did think about it, and as Dalton said, we do use what we have. We are resilient, and so in planning this, the majority of the activities are indoor, in the gyms or in the atrium at John Gray because of the heat, but we didn't want that to stop us. I think cricket's the only thing happening out on the field outside, and the walk run that we do. Outside of that, it will be indoors in AC, giving people the best environment to be active in. And so we continue to be resilient using what we have. Thankfully, the schools do have that. And as Minister said, we are a resilient bunch. I mean, I trained myself doing Carifta, you could tell by now. But, we had dedicated, and we continue to have dedicated coaches that push us and they take us off island. We have the support of ministers and nonprofits that continue to fund our kids to be able to have the opportunities to go off island. So we may not have it all, but we continue to slowly, access things we never accessed before. And we're really grateful. And as she said, our government's supportive of continuing that fight.
And thank you all for all the work that you do in the initiatives that you have established as well to keep us well, keep us fit also. Folks, when we return, the phone lines will be open for a short period of time before 10 o'clock. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This is Cheryl Ebanks Miller, the Cayman Islands' very first female radio announcer. What a privilege that has been for me. And I just want to say happy 50th anniversary Radio Cayman. It was wonderful being here from the very beginning. And I wish you all much success for future years and that it'll get even better.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Tight schedule this morning. We did have the opportunity to open up the phone lines when we had members of the Constitutional Commission in the studio with us. We have about 20 minutes to go and another commercial break. But the phone lines are open. If you have any questions, comments, maybe on things that were previously discussed. One of our listeners, in relation to the discussion with Minister Anglin and Parliamentary Secretary Ms. Julie Hunter, the person commented that that's exactly what happened to their mom, and as a result of that individual had to get their status approved or sorted out as well. And as Minister Anglin pointed out, this is a situation that Cuban Caymanians found themselves in. I know that I have heard comments from others in relation to who have misinterpreted or basically failed to understand exactly what the minister is trying, to achieve, bringing up other countries and other nationalities in it. But the Cuban Caymanian situation, it is unique in itself, and that is extremely important. Also, we do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, I might be a little late, but I'm here.
Yep. Better late than never.
Yeah. Well, see, the same thing that the minister was on discussing this morning, I think we had a dialogue concerning that before, and I was talking about my presentation was to extend the inheritance further back than grandfather, back to great-grandfather and stuff, because that gives you direct bloodline, right? Because, see, if I'm a great-grandchild and I can't claim, but yet somebody who come from Timbuktu, that the first time they heard about Cayman was when they saw it on the internet advertising a job, and can come here and become what they're almost saying more Caymanian than me, because they have proof of who they are, their status on the island, right? And I say that because we have Caymanians, generational Caymanians, who are, even in government, when a scholarship or a job comes up, they're asked that they bring some document or something to prove that they're Caymanians. There's a lady, and A.L. Thompson told me that this morning. Her niece or cousin, she just had to take her and get documents to prove that she was Caymanian. Yeah, and it happened to me, to my daughter, one of my daughters, who was with one of the local companies, not government, local company, and I think there's an opportunity came up, and she had to prove that she was Caymanian. But when she went and get her mother's birth certificate, because of where she lived and born in the Cayman Islands, her mother was born in Jamaica. It was because of medical reasons, right? And they being close to Jamaica. Her mother was born in Jamaica, so she felt very disappointed. But what she didn't know, that there was a DNA done to prove that she was my child.
Okay.
Way back, but she wasn't aware of that, but she was young. So I ran home, got the document, and gave her, and that's what got her foot in the door.
Wow.
But her grandmother is Caymanian, just that her mother was born in Jamaica but I had to prove, she had to prove that one of her parents was Caymanian. You see? So what I'm saying, I congratulate my classmate there, Hunter, and my good friend Raleigh on bringing this to the forefront, because if they're direct bloodline, we should get all of our people that are by direct bloodline to come back here, because we got some really, really smart people. We got judges in the Florida area that is Caymanian. We got Noel Borden's sister, who has retired now. I was speaking to Dr. McField saying he should bring her to address the next graduating crowd at the university, because she got like 5 patents OC to her name, from NASA.
Wow.
She's only 3 women in the world that have been given, I think it's the Scoopy, I think, award from NASA, and she's one of them. She's a BRCA. She's a BRCA, that null boarding system. Work with NASA.
Yep.
5 patents to her name.
Wow.
So all those people that is out there that are bloodline Caymanians, we need to try and encourage them to come back.
Yep. And we shouldn't be apologetic for the pathways that we create to allow them, to easily obtain recognition as Caymanians.
They automatically should be given whatever they need.
Yep. Lord Graham.
Should not be a process.
Yep. We got about 2 more callers on hold, and I still have 1 more commercial break. Thank you very much. Enjoy the holiday weekend as well.
Sure.
Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. What happened to Dr. Steve?
Well, if you've been following the shows, we've been pretty booked in terms of government entities and stuff like that. But we did have Dr. McField and Miss Teresa and Mr. Roy Borden in the studio with us a few weeks ago.
Okay. Maybe I was off the island at the place. However, I was keen to listen to some of your guests you had on your show just a while ago, talking about the heat wave. Oh, see, I am so disgusted with some of the things I hear that people are talking about what to do with the heat, while you have our government as a whole allowing these people that come in here because of the development, because of the money that's flowing. Come on. We have not studied and took the time to present ourselves in a proper environment. It's going to get heat because even hotter because of what's going on. Why in the hell do they allow these people to come in and just clear the land, bulldoze the place, put up concrete, and have it like some kind of a casino, gambling on this island? What's going to happen when an island this size, OC, is developed into concrete? When you look at places like Brazil, a huge place like Brazil who has their act together and said, you can come here, but this is what you will do, this is what you can do, and this is what you can't do. And here we are, just a little rock here, and we think that, we have lost it. I'm sorry. And people that we expected better out of is not really showing up to what a lot of us are expected. Thank you so much for listening to me, my friend.
Thank you very much, and you have a happy Constitution Day on Monday as well. Folks, we're going to take commercial break. We still have, I believe, Paul, we still have a caller on hold. We will take that caller as soon as we return, so hang in there, but don't hang up. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me, and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for a station that plays the music you actually love?
Switch now to Breeze 105.3 FM.
The best adult contemporary hits
Of the 70s, 80s,
and more. All day, every day. Feel good. Sing along and let the breeze keep you company.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. About 9 minutes left to go in the show. We're going straight to our caller who has been on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I thought that your last caller, God must have sent him, because I was going to read something as well relating to exactly that. Not only exactly that, but and in a realization, I can do it as quick as possible because I wanted to touch on something else.
Sure.
Yesterday was an eye-opener for me. You see all of this flooding that we are having? It ain't climate change. It's an environmental change. So we're not kids anymore, so wake up. Take off your safety glasses. We are living in disaster in history. When the new rule says you got to go up so high, then neighbors go in a life raft roll in our neighborhood. I must jump ship because of a bigger vessel wakes me capsize our boat and call a mass exodus. The fear-mongering from that side that wants that side of yours. Think of that for a second today. And I ask yourself, who is the real criminals of the day? And then what I really wanted to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard the last panel you had with the fitness and sport.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my goodness, that gives me cold chills and goosebumps. And when I was in primary school, I had a group of friends. I would name them Masara McLaughlin, Alejandro Cardenas, and Preston Rivers. And when we was in primary school, we made sure that we were the fastest, highest jumper, and longest jumpers in school. And we took sports very serious. Back then we had some of the best coaches like Mr. Smith and the rest. And I appreciate those guys for helping us with being children at those times.
Mm-hmm.
And what else that made me very emotional? That skateboarding has been taken away from us as a very important activity after school, because when we were a little too cool for the other kids, we tend to want to go as fast as we can, and we don't have no limit. Skateboarding was that dangerous and breaking our arms and whatnot. That made us a whole lot stronger today. And we have the Black Pearl Skate Park closed down, and all the children are on the road, causing danger to themselves because of fun.
Mm.
And that is, to me, heartbreaking. When we were in a safe zone with people with Mr. Steve Myers and all the rest of those guys that were very comfortable with the children and not having to worry about any of the parents worrying about them. That was very important for our mental health as well. And to me, it's heartbreaking to see that people like Newville Cover, when I would go in school, people that would risk their lives to be the best in school at doing their sport. And this is the things that we have to sacrifice because of development on our islands. And then we have to worry about climate change. That's the least of our worries in the Cayman Islands for me. Because guess what? The people that are building the buildings and cutting down the mangroves and clearing out the land to build canals and access points to their luxury resort, these are the people that we have to worry about, because these are the same people that I feel are ostracizing Caymanians. And I'm not speaking out of panic. I'm speaking out of a necessity. I think that it's necessary that we wake up and think about these type of things, because that is exactly what democracy is, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right. That's all I had wanted to say this morning, if anyone else wanted to call.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. One of our listeners has written and said, good morning. Again, I'd just like to emphasize the importance of children and everyone during this hot period or hot sun. By the way, during Mr. Anglin's previous terms in education, he'd bought caps/hats for all the children at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School in West Bay. He also had, during that time, restrictions on certain foods. It's good that you're a good listener, so important with the young people. And there may have been another message before that I didn't see. A person said, "Good morning, Mr. Connor. I trust you're keeping well. We made it to the youth parliamentarians' motion yesterday. I think it may have been an eye-opener for some of us as adults in general. I think it may not have crossed our minds that the youth could and or respond to the motion with full force. I think the members of the House or Parliament should have been prepared for our young people to address the motion. Maybe there wasn't enough research or thinking in coming forward with the motion. Remember, we're training and preparing our youth to stand up and speak up when necessary. We respect their opinions and rights. I think they won the case." And they say, by the way, there are two of my granddaughters who attended as well. So I want to thank that writer for those comments as well, kind words. I was impressed by the deliberation that took place, the obvious amount of research that was conducted as well. And I was impressed by the young man who was the representative for Cayman Brac, West, and Little Cayman. His use of metaphors in his debate, and brought also a little bit of levity to the debate as well. I could watching on CIG TV. I could actually see I believe it may have been one of the parliamentarians in the background smiling when some of the comments were made as well. But that young man has, a lot of skills, when it comes to speaking and the use of metaphors as well. But they all did extremely well. And for those who prepared them for the debate, I think it was certainly timely and thoughtful of them to have the topic be one that was linked to a current motion that was approved in Parliament, as well. Now, going forward, it is quite obvious for those persons who have to take that motion into consideration that there's a constituency out there that you must engage with, that you must seek their input into any legislation being brought forward. They made that quite obvious during the Youth Parliament debate as well. So I want to say kudos to all of those young people who participated, and for all of those persons who went out and supported them, or if you weren't able to be there in person, to have watched them, listen either live on Radio Cayman or watch them on CIG TV as well. So folks, Monday, Constitution Day here in the Cayman Islands. Don't just treat it as any other holiday. I think we should reflect on where we have come as far as a constitutional advancement is concerned. There are many of us who want to see that advancement being taken even further. Some of us want to see it as quickly as possible, and some of us feel that it should be done in incremental stages. But when you look at the fact that from 1972 to 2009, we didn't really have any substantial changes to our constitution other than qualifications for elected membership and to vote as well. Those are the primary ones that were done during that period of time. And when we consider the period, long period before we actually had a modernized constitution, we should not let it be that long again. Hence the role of the Constitutional Commission in being a platform there for to obtain input from our from Caymanians, from the Cayman population, and at the same time to transmit those to the government of the day as part of their constitutional remit as well. And then at the end, move it, Cayman. Very important for us to remain active. Folks, let me tell you, I have seen my mileage in terms of cycling drop from over 110 miles per week to about 45, between 45 and 54 per week, and it makes a whole lot of difference. I know some people, they don't want, well, one person did say to you, OC, what happened? Where'd you get that stomach from? Well, because I haven't been riding. Some people have been a little bit more diplomatic with their approach, and they say, have you stopped cycling? I know what they mean by that as well, that you put on weight or something. So it is extremely important for us to remain active. So move it, Cayman. Get out there tomorrow and participate as well. Folks, have a great weekend. Don't forget, join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Covering Cayman, little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me.